For many Tasmanians, winter was tough but bearable from the comfort of a warm office or cosy lounge room. Spare a thought for the track workers upgrading the Cape Hauy track on the Tasman Peninsula in rain, hail and the occasional shine. Fiona Breen and crew Dave Hudspeth and Dave Fraser put on their hiking boots to have a look at the track, which will be the final leg of the state government's flagship tourism investment, the proposed $33 million Three Capes Walk.
In the spectacular coastal isolation of the Tasman Peninsula, two groups of hardy track workers toil away in sunshine and rain. More often than not this winter, the weather in the area has been harsh, but a rare patch of sunshine allows long-planned helicopter drops of desperately needed gravel and rocks so the work can go on.
You can collect anyway, Albert.
Okay, that's fine, Albert. So I'll let you know once Kent's arrived at the site and we're ready to go.
In 2 days, the helicopter does 40 trips into 4 sites, carrying 85 tonnes of raw materials.
I'll point out where I want it. In between these 2 bags here, mate.
The dolerite columns and cliffs of Cape Hauy, popular with climbers and abseilers, are also a destination for day walkers.
Yeah, it's a very popular track. We know that a lot of people come down here and stay at Fortescue and come out to Cape Hauy. Parks and Wildlife promoted as one of the 60 great walks in Tasmania. So we know from the visitor counts that we've had out here that we are getting a lot of people coming out here.
If the state government has its way, the newly renovated track will become the end of the Three Capes Walk, a trek set to rival the Cradle Mountain experience. Over the next 6 months, the 4.7 kilometre Cape Hauy section is being made user-friendly.
So it was, a hard track, I suppose, for a large cross-section of the community to be able to come out and utilise, and we think by doing the upgrade and making it a much easier track that a lot more people will be able to do it.
The entire Three Capes route is still to be approved.
The funding has been allocated for the project for Three Capes, but we're still going through the planning and approval stage. So whilst the money is there, until we have the approvals to proceed, we won't be able to do much more.
It's hoped work on the rest of the walk can start mid-next year.
It is certainly our intention to construct as much as possible, and we think it's possible in most areas, what we call a Class 3 standard of Australian walking track, and that's the type of standard of walking track that you can see here going in behind us. So this is the vision, I suppose, of what we'd expect to see for the whole Three Capes track.
The Three Capes track will span 68 kilometres of the Tasman Peninsula, from White Beach to Fortescue Bay. The walk will take in the 3 natural landmarks, Cape Row, Cape Pillar and Cape Hauy. A boat trip will break 2 sections of the track between Safety Cove and Denman's Cove. There'll be 5 sleepover bunkhouses and an option of another boat trip at the end to Pirates Bay.
Half the area would be getting a new track and half the area is building on existing tracks. So it's really just about linking a number of the day walks that are here and offering a multi-day opportunity for people to come and immerse themselves in the National Park for an extended period and walk through and really appreciate what we've got here.
The 2 groups of trackies working on the Cape Hauy section know what it's like to immerse themselves in a national park. They've already been on the job for a couple of months. It's not for the faint-hearted. This team has 6 months of steep rock and gravel work ahead of them.
I guess it's the collection of skills in a trackie. Many people have got some of them, but to find someone who's prepared to work in a remote location, come home from work, not have a shower or bath, wash in a bucket, sleep in a tent, get up the next morning and do the same thing all over again. It requires people who are comfortable in the bush. In fact, people who love the bush and people who love physical work.
Long-time trackies, Jeffrey Lee and his team, are working on 2 exposed steep areas of the track near Cape Hauy. With beautiful views of wild coastline on a sunny day, it's the world's best office. However, it's also been the worst.
We're close to sea level, it's not particularly cold. I guess trackies in Tasmania are accustomed to rain, so we work in the rain, but the wind here in the exposed spots can be really fierce, and that's uncomfortable.
That's probably an understatement.
We're in the lee of a hill which protects us from the westerly stream, but we've had quite a few weeks here of easterlies and strong easterlies. The other morning I was out here when they recorded 100 kilometres an hour at Tasman Island, and we were copping it straight up the throat. Yeah.
Closer to the Fortescue Bay end of the track, another team is making the most of a rare bit of sunshine.
It is the middle of winter and we're down on the Tasman Peninsula, which has its own little quite wet microclimate. So the guys have been struggling in the wet weather and the mud and the rain. Today sort of doesn't do justice to what the guys are usually working in.
While there's a lot of specialised handwork, they've also introduced machinery to quicken the pace.
We've got a mini excavator that goes along and can move quite large rocks for us and do takes a lot of the physical work that traditionally is done with pick and shovel out of the work. We've also got power carriers, which are tracked wheelbarrows that we can use to move materials along the track rather than pushing a traditional wheelbarrow.
The machinery gets heavy material up and down the slopes.
Our power carrier can carry about 400 kilos and it can climb incredible gradients with that load in it, something that you just wouldn't be able to push a wheelbarrow up.
If the Three Capes track goes ahead, it's likely both groups of trackies will tender for some of the work. It's estimated up to 55 people will be employed in the construction phase. Once it's built, there's high expectations it will earn its keep, transforming the Tasman Peninsula from a day visit destination to an overnighter. The state government is estimating up to 10,000 people will walk this track annually, bringing with them up to $20 million in spending money. In the meantime, while plans for the Three Capes walk shuffle from government office to government office, spare a thought for the trackies on the job, on the track to Cape Hauy. Rain, hail or shine.
All the guys that work for us love it. We're all outdoors people. We're all bushwalkers or mountain bikers, and we just enjoy being outdoors, and this is sort of, to be able to work outdoors is great. We have a saying that it's a great office, but the air conditioning doesn't work and the roof leaks.
A hardy bunch, including the team that shot that story.